All right, let's get to Give Me the Headlines, presented by Hyundai. We have a theme for everything here, Chris. This is the NFC East edition of Give Me the Headlines. Let's start with the Giants beating the Cowboys 23-19.
Big and blue. Damn.
Right? Very well done.
Man.
Yeah.
Big and blue. That's what we are. Damn it. Big blue was big.
The nonverbals are good
and
there.
Blue.
Telling that.
Damn.
Yeah. Almost. It was almost an awesome Sunday.
Almost.
For those guys,
it really
right?
was. It was fun to watch at 1 o'clock. It really was. I enjoyed it. It was great to root for the Giants in a meaningful game like that.
Yeah.
Especially against the Cowboys, all of that.
Yeah.
Really were the better team on the field throughout yesterday. It was giant mistakes that let the Cowboys hang around. I mean, Daniel Jones and Gallman mess up a handoff.
Yeah.
You know, Evan Ingram has a ball that goes right between his hands. It's going to hit him in the face. Interception. You know, but again, Giants, I know it's 6-10 and it's nothing to like write home about. But I'm excited about the direction the Giants are going in.
End of the season was much better than the beginning and middle. That's something to feel good about.
I think so, definitely. And Daniel Jones made some big plays yesterday, playing through, hurt, made some big throws to Slayton and Dante Pettis. But the story of the day was the defense. And a little bit of like what we talked about. The defensive line.
Leonard Williams.
Leonard Williams, 3 sacks. They're going to have to show him the money for sure. And again, this is why, lately, I really think football is going this way with the Giants and their defensive approach. It's for games like yesterday. It's going to show true. I think size is about to become more of a factor in the NFL once again. We're seeing the ground and pound approach on the offensive side of the ball. And when you have some of these high-octane offenses like the Cowboys yesterday, that's why I took the Giants to win the game. I just thought their big dudes up front, again, they're 300 across. It's 305, it's 340, it's 315, and then it's 305 again across the board. I thought maybe they could handle the run game by themselves, and then they could play too deep and stop the pass game and all those Cowboys receivers. And they were really the star of the day because Zeke never got going.
Right.
They continued to be able to play coverage and not worry about getting on an island against those wide receivers. And that D-line really helped them win the football game.
I know what the topic is going to be coming out of Philly here. Washington beats the Eagles 20-14. I'm curious what your specific headline is going to be as it relates to the number one topic there.
Tanks for the memories.
No H?
Nope.
Just
tanks. Tanks for the memories, because that was the first time we have gotten to witness a real live national tanking in the NFL.
And then that's my reaction too. We don't see many firsts, but that was the first time you're watching. You're like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening.
It's happening.
This is what we're watching.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, what was it for? Was it just for the draft picks? Is there something in the quarterback dynamic there with Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz that came into play? Was it the head coach? Was it the front office? Does somebody in the front office hate the Giants that much? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I mean, I'm sure they hate the Giants.
So the Giants thing is off the table.
I don't think that's that. That to me would be a little petty,
I agree.
But I know, but you never know.
Come from on high.
You're right.
Okay.
The NFL.
Let's remove that.
There's plenty of petty people.
So then
in the NFL.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's remove that. We have the allure of the draft picks moving from 9 to 6. We have, and I don't think this is being talked about quite as much. We don't know what's going on with Carson Wentz and who supports him and who doesn't. Jalen Hurts, who supports him, who doesn't. Maybe there was something there playing a big factor too.
Well, okay. First, I think the last two things I think are true. This is kind of what I hit on a little bit this morning with Florio. First off, hey, first round picks, top 10 picks, they have value. I mean, they're real assets. And every pick that goes up has a little bit more value as far as the assets that would be needed to get to that spot.
It's an easier way to go from 9 to 6 than it would be to give up a bunch of draft picks and players.
Well, definitely. I mean, in a lot of ways. So here's the dilemma, and this is really the big conversation. A lot of teams don't want to do those type of games because they don't want to start to infuse we're losing.
Right.
They don't want to have that. The coach is always banging the drum. We play every game, we compete and do all those things. And when you deliberately lose a game, guys walk away and go, wait, coach said we were going to do this, this, and this all week. Did he lie to my face?
Yeah, right.
So you're going to have those questions. That's why a lot of you wouldn't see a lot of big-time coaches do that because I think they're afraid of that creeping into the building and, maybe my message gets lost and all of those type of things. I think that's that fear. Now, Doug Peterson, I don't think he fears it as much because, one, I think he's an amazing communicator. He's got a great feel for the locker room and guys and things like that, to maybe that emboldens them a little bit. And, you know, really the reality, too, is, you know, I mean, three picks is a big deal.
It's a big deal. Yes,
I mean, it's a big deal. What if next year in the draft, you know, we get into it, we're getting in the evaluations, and let's just say the Eagles need a big-time defensive end, right? And you're sitting here and we're doing the draft, and I'm going, man, this defensive end he's like Chase Young. People are sleeping on him. So he's definitely going to the top 5 or 7 in the draft. It's going somewhere in there.
Right.
I mean, what if Philadelphia is sitting there going, man, we need a defensive end so badly, which they do, actually.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm throwing it out there. And now you go, oh, he went at number 7 and we're number 9.
Right.
Why? To win the Washington game, week 17?
Right.
Is that worth it?
Yeah.
So they're playing the long play. I'm not mad at Philadelphia for what they did. They got to do what's best for them.
I think people are just shocked that they actually saw it.
It's because it's the first time in NFL history we're
Right.
seeing it. It was in a national televised game.
Right.
And it was a game that meant something for multiple teams.
Right.
So it was like, whoa, I can't believe it. And it pissed me off sitting there as a viewer. My little boy, Philip, he flipped.
Yeah.
You know, he's rooting for the Giants.
Yeah.
Oh,
What was your
Eagles.
explanation in the moment about it? When he looked at Dad and said, what the hell's going on?
I told him about the draft picks first. I didn't even get into the Jalen Hurts thing because I think first off, now to go to that, I just told him about the draft picks. I just said that they don't care. I said I think they want to have a higher draft pick. That's what they're worried about.
Yeah.
No, I do think the quarterback thing had something to do with this. No doubt.
I need some details on the quarterback thing.
Well, the quarterback thing between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts, and they're going into having the most interesting offseason maybe in football because of this conversation.
Right.
And I think they knew that if they won with Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts wins that game and pulls it out and has another pretty impressive game, which it looked like he was on that way, that they were going to be backed into a corner where, no, Jalen Hurts is going to be your starting quarterback. The Philadelphia fans are not going to take it. And I think they still want to salvage something with Carson Wentz.
Do you think Carson wants to?
No, and he shouldn't. Bye. See ya.
So shouldn't the organization know that too? I mean,
Well,
he doesn't want to come back.
I'm sure they know a little. They're scared right now. They saw the report that yesterday, Chris Mortensen, he talked about Wentz and wanting out of town. I think he made a quote that the fractured relationship between Wentz and Peterson. Listen, Wentz has to get out. Sorry.
Right.
I don't know what other way to say it. If I was advising Carson Wentz, I'd tell him to get out. He's in a no-win situation. Like, there's nothing. Between the Foles, this right here, this is going to continue to linger into the offseason. If he does come back and is the starter, as soon as he throws an incompletion, everyone's going to want Jalen Hurts back in there. It's just a marriage that's not going to work.
Right.
And if I'm him, this was the last straw. You got Jalen Hurts or whatever you want to do. I've had enough. Get me out of here. And he needs a fresh start.
You think draft picks moving from 9 to 6 and also grasping at a last straw. We don't want this kid coming back and leading us to a win in the last game because we still want to bring back Carson Wentz?
Carson Wentz is their guy. I mean, Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson made trades to get the number 2 pick, and they've given him a ton of money. So they want that to work.
But they've also seen him have more turnovers than any quarterback in the league.
No, I know. Well, I'm sure. Listen, it wasn't a good year.
Yeah.
But just as we've said, it was a team too around him in a lot of ways. They've also seen him play at an MVP level and carry the team last year with a team. So
we have too.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I don't think their belief. I believe the reports when I hear like, oh, they just think it was a blip year, like a bad year, a blip on the radar.
Yeah.
And he's going to bounce back. But I just think there's too much damage has been done.
Right.
And I don't know. I think it's too much for Carson. And if I were him, I'd want out of there and a fresh start and just not have to deal with, the controversy and the noise anymore.
Controversy, man, all caps.
Yeah.
And, coming out of Philadelphia
No doubt.
that one.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.